Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor Bradley, and today is day 43 of my solitary quarantine, day 6 of live streaming. 6 days out of 7. Oh my gosh, it's flying by. In case this is your first time tuning in, the reason why I'm doing this is to keep myself motivated and keep myself writing and get showered and cute and put together like a human being every single day. So that's catching you up on there. Since we're entering the home stretch of this week, I want to know what you guys liked the most. Some of your favorite elements. What did you really get out of watching these if you did tune in every day? And if I were to continue to do these like once a week, what would you like to see more of? That would be wonderful if you guys could let me know. You can send me a message, or you can leave a comment, or you can call me if you have my phone number. Just let me know what you guys like about these. I'm currently working on setting up an online store to go live by the end of the week. So if you want to order any books or prints or typewritten pieces, you can place orders online. Also, this is the last call for this. I'll be doing one more reminder later in the video, but we only have 1 day left. During the live stream, if you Venmo me $25, you will get a paperback copy of one of my books. One of these two, you can let me know which. I'll be reaching out and seeing for people who do donate which ones they want. A typewritten piece of a first draft that I will sign at the bottom. And an 11-word observation bookmark. And my laminator is supposed to come tomorrow, so it will be laminated as well. If you just want to do $10, you will get the piece Goodnight Texas, which is a print of a painting that I did. It's an 8x10. And you can send that to Taylor Bradley 91. Also, a little piece of excellent news. My neighbor ordered a delivery of wine today. So I have 2 new bottles of red wine, and I am back to not trying to scrounge around and see what I can find. So I'm celebrating that with a glass of red wine, which is something I actually drink regularly. So, yay! Okay, ooh. I have a mug too with tea. Not as exciting, but still delicious. I really wanted to share some of my photography with you guys, but I have absolutely no idea how to do that since both of my screens are currently being used to live stream, and I didn't really want to set up like some jankety thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about my project, No Place Like House. I'm going to talk about the series a little bit, and then maybe when I do the YouTube version, I can like superimpose some images over it. Or if you guys want to just check out any of the images, you can visit my website, which is taylordbradley.com, or you can visit my Instagram page. There's No Place Like House. And there's no like apostrophes or anything. It's just there's No Place Like House. So today I'll start with the piece I wrote for the chosen theme, Purpose in Life, which was suggested by Dan Birchfield. And then I'll go into some more material that I've been typing during quarantine about my experience and my changing perspective. So everything today is going to be brand new, never before heard or read material, which I am pretty excited about. A little bit nervous because it's typewritten, so it's not as like I can't go back and change it as much. So to kick us off, this is for Dan Birchfield's theme, Life's Purpose. In times of uncertainty, artists have been known to obsess about the unanswerable questions of the human condition. How do we define love? Is there a God? Why do people suffer? What's the point? We're all operating under our own assumptions, the beliefs we've shaped and molded as we've aged and experienced both guttural loss and profound happiness. But I also believe that artists are overthinkers, philosophizers of simple moments and seemingly insignificant occurrences. We look to them for answers to the questions that keep us awake at night, hoping that because their job is to study and pick apart and celebrate what it means to be human, they must know something we don't. but for simplicity, to find the heart of the question. We must look to those who are willing to just be and not deliver soliloquies about its meaning. We must find solace in those who love just because they love, and cry because they hurt, and always seek to leave the world a little better than they found it. So that's what I have for life's purpose. I didn't want to try to make myself sound more important than I feel like my knowledge is. I know that artists spend a lot of their times trying to pick apart the deep meaning of life, and why we're here and why bad things happen and all sorts of deep unanswerable questions. But I think that really the beauty is in the people who don't question as much. There's a time and a place for questioning. I love art. I love questioning. But I think there's something really to be said for those people who just kind of are and experience. As an artist, I think I could really do better with that. Okay, a couple typewritten pieces I want to read for you guys. So when all this first started, I decided I wanted to try to type out the things that I was experiencing and the thoughts that I was having and the struggles that I was dealing with. So I took to my typewriter and I basically was like, I'm just going to allow myself to type, whether it's bullet points or observations or feelings or whatever I'm dealing with. And so these are pretty raw thoughts. They're not very edited or, deeply thought out and picked apart. They're just kind of me sitting down every day and talking about what my feelings and thoughts were for each of those days. So I present to you my typewritten series, Thoughts from Quarantine. So this first one was from day 6. There's a whole list. It's day 6, which was the 18th of March for me. Doesn't the sky seem bluer? The smell of fresh air through the windows is intoxicating. The best place to eat lunch is on a porch. I will be doing it much more often, even when all of this is over. When I read, I hold the book with one hand and the other is resting on my clavicles, threatening to choke me if I should stop reading. It's strangely comforting. So this is what it feels like to be present. Okay, during the day, but the nights are eternal. With minimal daily organic stimulus, my dreams have regressed to things from my past they never had a chance to process before, like a spring cleaning for the recesses of my unconsciousness. I thrive on change, but uncertainty makes me feel uneasy. What an adventure it is to be alive, so constantly influenced by an entire world alive around you. It's only when my screens and devices are off that I feel safe. I would love to bring back snail mail. I very much enjoy the act of writing and receiving letters. There's nothing like it. Having words to hold means more than words that go away when the power goes out. Nothing feels more comforting than rays of sunshine unexpectedly warming your skin, illuminating a page, dancing in the curtains and spilling onto wooden floors. I want Sylvia Plath romance, sitting for 7 hours with a boy and reading and discussing Hemingway aloud, getting wrapped up in language and forgetting to eat lunch. I wish I had my record player with me. Then I could turn off all these horrid screens with blue lights and constant news and just write and listen and focus on being present. Yesterday I felt like an island, but today I feel like a lighthouse. I love to paint because it's the only time I can control color, and the brushes are so tactile. And all of a sudden you focus on the smallest details that make up something and you get to explore it slowly. It isn't that hard to listen to what your body needs. if the rest of your time isn't spent trying to catch your breath. Food tastes better when you aren't trying to hurry up and swallow it so you can say something. The sound of cars has become white noise. Now you can hear the birds. Maybe tomorrow I'll host a private, all dressed up and know where to go party. I'll get dolled up and I'll have a glass of wine and put on music, and maybe I'll even dance. Reminding myself that I'm an animal makes me feel more equipped to handle a natural disaster. I have instincts. It'll be okay. So that's what I have from day 6. I was still feeling pretty optimistic. I still have moments of optimism, but I was still feeling like, maybe this pause was necessary and it's doing so much good for the world. In some ways, and I was really focusing on that and what it felt like to really be present for the first time. Okay, this is a couple things from day 12 of quarantine, which was March 24th. Music is making all of this bearable. I don't think I could watch this movie without a soundtrack. I still have no desire to leave. I still have not felt boredom. I always wondered how long it would take me to go crazy in the woods by myself, but I think as long as I have books, music, a way to write, and a weekly phone call to a friend, I could probably go a few months. Maybe this is all preparing me to be an astronaut one day. Nature, routine bedtime, hobby, clean living space, journal, connect with others, eat regularly, clock out of electronics, check, 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 a million checks. I'll be okay. Sometimes I take cold showers just to feel alive again. Sometimes I send future me little love notes encouraging her to be strong and keep pushing through. I have no idea what traumas and heartbreak I will face in the future, but I know she needs support and love. Other times I imagine future me sending current me little signs that I will be okay and successful and everything will work out, even if it's not exactly how I planned. I know I will be so tough, and I'll know that anything I think is a big deal now will not always be. The next day, day 13, March 25th. I feel very naked all of a sudden, like people know too much. I'm not going to eat any real food today. I have to save my meals. Veggies and ranch, cheese and crackers, maybe Girl Scout cookies. I just ate a lot of cheese. I want a Rob and Laura Petrie romance. Day 26, April 7th. I feel like I'm in a petri dish, being examined by my own microscope. A controlled area for an indeterminate amount of time observing my mental state. Yesterday, I explained it to a therapist using a metaphor. My emotional stability is a balloon with a small hole in it, constantly leaking air, and I am trying desperately to keep the balloon inflated. She told me that it isn't sustainable, and I need to allow the balloon to deflate. It's okay to deflate. I need to find a new balloon and start working on blowing that one up. It's okay that it's new, but put your energy into something sustainable. Okay, I'm going to take a break from that for a moment, and I want to talk a little bit about my photography project. I've gotten a lot of questions about it, and some people seem to understand it really, really well, and some people seem to have no idea what I'm trying to do. They're like, why are you dressing up as Dorothy and being in this project? I don't get it. So I wanted to take a moment to kind of talk about it. So the No Place Like House photography project started when I moved out of one of the last houses that I lived in. And growing up, I loved watching The Wizard of Oz. I watched it all the time until the VHS broke and we had to get another one. And I was Dorothy for Halloween, like at least for 2 years. And I would dress up as Dorothy even when it wasn't Halloween. I felt this very deep connection to her as a character. I knew I was going to be talking about this today, so I was like, I'm going to put some pigtails in so I can rock the Dorothy look a little bit, an homage to Dorothy. So I started doing the photo project as for a photography class I was taking, actually, because I wanted to capture how I was feeling about this idea of questioning how I define home. I think the word home is used so much and it's thrown around so flippantly, but most of the time, I think when people talk about it, they really mean either houses or people. I think it can mean very different things to different people. So when I talk about home specifically, I didn't really know what I was talking about. I didn't know if it was houses or people or what. I felt like it had been a long time since I really felt like I was home somewhere and that I wasn't, overstepping my boundaries or, being a burden or staying somewhere that I shouldn't be staying. I bounce around a lot, and I've had a lot of people open up their doors for me, which is absolutely wonderful and something I wouldn't trade for the world. I have a lot of wonderful people in my life. But when I decided I wanted to do that photo project, it was basically me revisiting my childhood idea of what home was. And so I went to all of the houses that I grew up in, dressed as Dorothy with a suitcase. And I looked up at each of them. So each of the photos, the original 4 photos, is from behind, and it's me in the center looking up at one of the houses. And I did it in order. And I'm kind of growing up through each one. So the very first house that I had I was like sitting on the concrete. And then the second one, I was sitting on my suitcase. And in the third one, I was kind of like standing like this. And then by the fourth one, I was fully standing up straight because it was how I grew up. It was the story of me growing up. So I kind of wanted to explore that. And then the more I got into it and the more it was feeling very cathartic to go back to all of these different places as Dorothy and experience these different things, I decided to kind of push it to the next level and really start to question what home is. So one part of the series is me in my storage unit, dressed as Dorothy, surrounded by all the items that I own, but there's no real place for them to go yet. So it's just my items. And like, does that make something a home? Because I have my books, etc., etc. And then I started to add in, and this is the last part of what I'm going to talk about with this, is I started to add in photos of other fictional characters that represented who I became. And usually they tend to be characters who are seeking a home or a place to feel a belonging. So one of the ones that I just released on my Instagram page was the kindness of strangers part of it, which was Blanche. It was me as Blanche Dubois. And it wasn't me trying to fully embody Blanche the character. It was the pieces of her that I have held on to and kind of become over time, how she impacted me. And what's kind of clung to my personality from reading about her. I love Tennessee Williams. He's one of my favorite writers. So I think her as a character was really something that stood out to me and meant a lot to me and how I've grown up. So I think that's all I'm going to say about the project for now. If you want to check it out, you could, like I said, you could go to my website, taylordbradley.com, and I have my whole gallery up on there so you can see the photo project. I also have an Instagram page for it called There's No Place Like House, and no spaces or grammar or anything, just There's No Place Like House. And the profile photo is the ruby slippers on the yellow lines of the road. Like the Yellow Brick Road. So if you want to see more of that, I would highly recommend checking that out. Okay, let's see. Wayne left a couple comments. Theme, blonde witches. Very rude, first of all. I know my hair is growing out. I know. But theme, not Liza with an S, but Liza with a Z. Okay. Maybe. It's a little goofy, but I feel like it's already been done. I feel like there was a whole musical written about it. Theme, oranges. Maybe. Oranges is a good theme. They've been popping up in my life a lot recently. For anyone who's currently watching, if oranges or Ernest Hemingway has been popping up an absurd amount in your life, please let me know. I would love to know, because I have been experiencing some very weird things when it comes to oranges and Ernest Hemingway, and I'm trying to crack this. So if you have any weird experiences with oranges or Ernest Hemingway, shoot me a message or leave me a comment if you're currently watching. Please let me know, because I am dying of curiosity of what this is all about. Okay, I'm going to read a couple more pieces from my quarantine diaries, essentially, my quarantine typewriter diaries. Wow, that sounds so pretentious. My quarantine typewriter diaries. It sounds like something that Wes Anderson would have one of his characters do. Wayne says, yes, me too. Tell me about the oranges in Hemingway. Wayne's been experiencing the same thing. So there's at least two of us who were experiencing things separately, and then it came around. Okay, enough. Back to my writing. Okay, this is from day 27, which is April 8th. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to attempt to describe my mental state in a new way. I'm going to give myself permission to use uncharacteristic language and fragmented sentences. This does not have to be beautiful or flow well. It just needs to try to capture what I'm feeling. So clearly here, I was struggling to find words. Let's see what I came up with. A dog got out and ran until he met the train tracks. Having nowhere else to go, unsure of what to do next, he stopped running and went home, having already forgotten the feeling of running on hot asphalt, having no desire for the wind in his face, no more curiosity for the hint of movement in the bushes ahead of him, only a quiet, numbing disappointment, and a new appreciation for a fenced-in backyard. A new appreciation for a fenced-in backyard. Ain't that the truth? Okay, the next one, it says, that moment when you complete the final page of a book you've been trying to get through for ages. You haven't really enjoyed it, but you've grown accustomed to visiting the characters and feel an odd sense of curiosity about their happiness. But now that you're done, and will certainly not be rereading the book, you hold it in your hands for a moment, knowing one day it will end up collecting dust on an untouched shelf in a Goodwill, and you feel a light sense of guilt for leaving these characters alone and without purpose. It leaves a chalky taste in your mouth, and the whole experience has slightly tainted your motivation to read any more for at least a day or two. I don't know what this is called. Like, this is just in-between feelings, I guess. In-between feelings, the Taylor Bradley story. The next one is black mold freckling a wall you see every day. An ugly reminder of your mortality and fragile lungs. And instantly it becomes a little bit harder to breathe until you leave the room and are allowed to forget about the existence of the mold until the next time you see it, and are slightly annoyed at the mold for being there and at yourself for having not done anything. There's two more. A soft t-shirt you kept from an ex because it's so soft. It's been washed so many times it's lost all sense of their scent, and you forget that the shirt wasn't always yours because you've made so many of your own memories in it, and so many years have passed. But every once in a while, you catch your reflection brushing your teeth, and the pattern on the shirt, or the picture stamped into it, reminds you of that awful, ugly breakup, making you feel heartbroken all over again, heavy with sadness and regret. And then the moment passes, and you continue on with your day, enjoying the softness of your shirt, and the comfort of your couch, and the familiarity of a show you've seen hundreds of times. And the last one, reruns of any show you watch when you're sick, your favorite childhood movies, mostly tinged with memories of coughing and sniffling on the couch until your nose is raw and your tissue box is filled with snot-filled tissues. The sounds of the familiarity lull you into a peaceful laziness, but your stomach is upset, unsettled by the association of illness. So yeah, that one was a weird day. Day 27 was a weird one. It was starting to get close to the 1 month mark. So I was getting real philosophical and just searching for any words that I could find. Yeah, so day 28. When is it okay to lie? I think when it prevents unnecessary pain. Side note, sometimes pain is necessary. That was a good observation. I really hate lying in general, but I think it is okay to do it when it prevents unnecessary pain. Okay. The next one, again, this is day 28. I slept well, but it's really starting to be sad when I wake up. I've had a lot of moments where I'm lucid dreaming, since if I know that I'm around people in my dreams or I'm outside of my little house, that I'm dreaming. But it's so exciting to be around people and doing things. It really takes the winds out of my sails to wake up again in bed. I've also started throwing frequent I can't sleep tantrums, which is essentially me flailing around in bed from about 4 a.m. to 5 a.m., whining about not being able to sleep, which helps me sleep. I thought that was funny. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any things that you guys want to share about things that you were feeling during different parts of your quarantine. If you ever found any good words to describe how you were feeling or what you were struggling with, send them to me. I want to read them because it seems like everyone's been kind of dealing with this in very different ways, you know. And the nice thing about it is that none of them are wrong. It's the first time, I think, for a lot of us that we've just been able to be, and our expectations are just to be and to take it one day at a time. And there are the people who are being super productive, and there are the people who are doing absolutely nothing, and there are the people who are in between and just searching for some kind of comfort to get them through their days. Ennui, says Wayne. Ennui. It feels exactly like it's that. It's exactly that. There you go. Beautifully put. I don't have to share anymore. It's just ennui. Here's a little bit that I wrote about searching for words about the way that time felt on that day, day 28. I was like, how can I define or describe how I'm feeling my relationship is currently with time and the passing of time? So this is what I came up with. Dust collecting on ceiling fan blades. The subtle change in color as freshly painted canvas dries. Watching clumps of pet hair gather around furniture legs. Shadows growing and shrinking. Rainwater collecting in puddles and waking to find them evaporated. The realization your hair now falls into your eyes more. It needs cutting. Are my nails growing faster? I cut them every day, it seems. I don't want to run out of this time. These hours reserved for breathing. I have so many books to read, stories to write. I have found moments of peace in the ability to create without limits. My bones are resting and my hair is growing long. I'm shedding skin and tension, and music has become my constant companion. I can adventure in the early mornings when I dream about life before the pause. The days just occur and restart. An endless loop of rising and being and sleeping. And the sunrise was caught in the curtains, my cue to shut down. And the moonlight cradled the floorboards, whispering to my feet that the time to run and jump and dance and play is now. All of the hours have forgotten their names, and the days have lost their distinguishing features, leaving nothing for me but complete freedom of the mind within a strict containment of isolation. That was day 28, nearing the end of the day. All right, it's 8:29. I will do one more little bit here, and then I'll sign out for the day. And tomorrow will be all about my new book, the new one that's coming out in December, hopefully, if I can focus more on writing the book and not on typewriting random pages. So here it is, the last one that I'm going to share. And this is Numbers, day 29. It's 1:07 a.m. and here are some new life rules in no order whatsoever. Number 1, nihilism is cool but depressing. I'm here for it. Number 2, dance if there's music playing. Number 3, never rush a kiss. Number 4, pet an emu if you can. What the heck, Taylor? Number 5, get dessert on Mondays. They already suck. Number 6, always look at a bird for as long as it will stay within eyesight. Number 7, stop making excuses. You did it or you didn't. That's all that matters. Number 8, it's okay to be embarrassed. You tried your best, but there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Number 9, do not be wasteful. Number 10, go swimming. You look great. Number 11, the goal should be to Google things less. Number 12, live on a boat if you get the chance. Number 13, make people laugh when you can. Smile often. Number 14, lamplight only. No ceiling lights, no fluorescence. Ugh, I hate fluorescent lighting. Number 15, you did great. You can do better, but celebrate the win. Number 16, sing karaoke. Everyone is drunk. Just have fun. And number 17, if cicadas are singing, fucking listen. Also watch fireflies. I think that's a good place to end for the night. So thank you guys for tuning in. I noticed a lot more people watching on Facebook today. Usually I have more people watching on Instagram, but I haven't had hardly anyone watching on Instagram. Facebook's been where it's at today. So hi Facebook, what's up? That's all I have for you guys today. Tomorrow will be all new material for my upcoming book, There's No Place Like House, which will be released in December. There's only one theme left, so submit a theme suggestion in the comments below, and I will pick one for the live stream tomorrow. It's the last one, so make it count. Right now, I think Oranges is in the lead. Maybe ennui. I know that wasn't a suggestion for a theme, but it's a good theme suggestion. During the live stream, this is your last day. You have until the end of the day tomorrow. If you Venmo me $25, you'll get a paperback copy of one of my books, an 11-word observation bookmark, and a typewritten piece of one of my original pieces, and it's going to be the first draft of it, and it's signed on the bottom, so it's super special, and it doesn't come around often, and there's only one first draft of every piece, so it's limited. For $10, you'll get a print of my painting, Goodnight Texas. It's an 8x10. You can contribute by Venmoing Taylor Bradley 91, or if you want the PayPal link, let me know, and I can send that. I can put that in the comments. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you today. I will see you tomorrow for the very, very last live stream of my 7-day live stream, Creative Quarantine. Bye!